Welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 6 p.m. on the East Coast. Like, Larry, 6 p.m., what is going on? That is not what you usually do. True. And it's Saturday. I know. I have had an absolutely insane week with a lot of stuff happening. As you know, I am running for governor. Just not what this show was about, though. Don't get me in trouble, FEC. I'm sorry. SE. Whoever is the guys who get me, those guys don't. This is not that. But in any case, it's not that. But I have been crazy busy trying to raise money because the end of my my report is coming up here in 2 weeks. So I've been doing a lot of that, traveling, doing stuff. So I have not had time for many shows, but I always want to give you at least one AMA every single week. I try because I want people to be able to talk to me and ask me questions, go back and forth. I don't want to lose the pulse of the people in my world. So that's why I keep doing these. And so here I am again. The time I could fit one in today was 6 p.m. on Saturday. This is what we got. So I hope it will be interesting for you. And I have some interesting ideas behind this, right? I have some interesting ideas behind this I'm going to talk about, which are very interesting. This is something's happening in New York State. And there is a doctor, if I get her name right, how do I say it right? It is Dr. Shareen Ismail. And she has been targeted by New York State as a bad guy. She is obviously a bad guy because New York State says so. So therefore it's true, because she actually believes in, I'm going to say it, medical freedom. I know. She's a horrible person. It's just true. It's how it works. Yeah, it's kind of jokey, but it's not. She has been targeted to a point where they are trying to get rid of her practice, put her in jail. She's been arrested, threatened to take her kid away. Yes. Jail her and take her kid away. I wish I was joking. I wish I was joking. Oh, but I'm not. But I want to give credit though where credit is due, and I'm going to show a piece of this. This was brought to my attention by the wonderful and amazing and awesome Shannon Joy, who is a friend of mine and who we've been together in some way, shape, or form on the same team fighting the state since 2018. So yes, she is still unstoppable, and we're both rocking and rolling, and she brought it to my attention, so I'm very happy that she did. And let me show you who this obviously evil, horrible person is. Hold on. And this something I'm gonna show you is actually from, believe it or not, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. This is very recent, what I'm gonna show you right now. So you see who this horrible person is. By the way, by Syracuse.com. So not like some crazy thing. This is just a mainstream media.
I'm Shareen Ismail. I'm a medical doctor at the Alexander Center for Children's Health. I practice general pediatrics and pediatric emergency care. Over time, I've learned to think of myself as kind of a vaccine neutral doctor.
What? Okay, let's be clear. You guys better get this straight. If you don't worship the jab, and literally, as my governor actually have a necklace that says vaxxed. She actually has that. I'm not making that up. And if you don't call yourself an apostle for the jab, as my governor has done, I'm not making any of this up, that actually happened. Clearly you're anti-vax and a bad person, right? I mean, let's get it. You're with us or you're against us. So this vaccine neutral stuff, it's got to go. This is obviously wrong, and she's an evil person. Keep going.
So my experience and my background in the emergency room wasn't very entrenched in, a vaccination schedule. It's not something we did as, doctors in the emergency room or had a.
So when you're dealing with the emergency room with kids, you don't immediately ask about that? Why is she not in jail? Why is this horrible human being walking the streets? I don't know why. Okay, New York, you're messing up.
A whole lot of experience with outside of residency. I think the inspiration for the center was all about creating choice for families.
Choice for families? Who are you? Who is this woman? Choice? My parents have rights. Okay, she's just digging her own grave. I mean, I don't know why she's doing it. She's digging her own grave. I mean, she's clearly a horrible person. Okay, keep going.
And so we very much are believe in informed consent for the family.
Informed consent? Informed consent for a family. What? I don't. Why is she walking around? Why is this woman not in handcuffs? I don't understand. New York State, what are you doing?
So it's really about providing them with information, providing them with science, with the data, allowing them
Science
time
and
to
data?
do their due diligence.
Okay. Science and data. Okay. My governor, and again, everything I'm saying, I'm not making up. You can do your homework. My governor, Her Majesty, Queen Kathy, first of her name, worshiper of the jab. My governor has said that God talks to her and God told her we should all get the jab. I'm not joking. Literally, my governor said that. Again, if you think I'm making this up, it's fine. So her and her science and data. Okay. My governor talks to God. Okay. So why is she not in jail? God.
And to make a decision that's comfortable for their children and for themselves and for their family. We do offer vaccines here.
Wait, you offer them too? So hold on. So if I would like one, I can get one. But if I don't want one, I don't have to get one. How's that going to work? Without government to tell me everything to do, how can I make it? Let me explain what medical freedom actually is, because she's confused. And some of you get this. Medical freedom is the freedom from choice. I don't have to choose because the government tells me everything. Doctors just do it. I just shut up. I don't got to think. They just jab me as they see fit, and I'm free. See, I don't have to think about anything. That's freedom. Come on now, get the program.
Sometimes we special order, like a vaccine or two if a parent wants something that's not in a combo,
So if a parent decides that a specific type or way of jabbing their kid is the right way of doing it, you'll do that. So you'll allow a parent to decide when and how their kid gets service when it comes to medical. I don't understand this at all. This is crazy.
Vaccine or something that's a little different. It's beneficial, obviously, to from the state's perspective, to have every child vaccinated.
It is.
And
she's not wrong.
I think that is their perspective, but that doesn't necessarily reflect the perspective of the parents.
True.
So, I do believe in the parents' right to choose.
Parents' right to choose. This woman is a monster. I'm just saying, she's a monster. Her, Jeffrey Dahmer. Toss up. Jeffrey Dahmer, her. Toss up. I'm not sure. That's how bad she is.
And I do believe in the parents' rights. And
parents'
I support
rights.
them.
Okay, she's worse than Dahmer. Worse than Dahmer. Okay, she put her on top. Worse than Dahmer.
100%.
Jeez. By the way, regular mainstream media. Regular mainstream media, right? Okay, so you might go, okay, Larry, they did that, but is that a big deal? Yeah. Here's the actual story. They just interviewed her. Here's who she is. Here's what she wants. All good. Here's the actual story. Why am I upset? Why? Because you can see right here. Manlius is the name of the area she's from. Pediatrician who draws vaccine skeptics. This is true. Vaccine skeptics did come to her because they didn't want to be forced to take all of the jabs. True. So it drew her, but that's an insult. How dare you be drawn? That's an insult for them, right? Faces felony charges over her kids' vaccine records. Now, to be clear, well, she's an anti-vaxxer. She's not. Her kids are actually vaccinated. Her kid is actually vaccinated. He was vaccinated in Florida. So when she came here, they said, oh, no, that's not good enough. And we have now decided to target you. I'm not making this up. I'll show you in a second. So now we're going to punish you. Because you dare to be a doctor and not force all your kids to get the jab, we are now going to punish you personally. I'm not joking. Punish you personally and say that your kid isn't and that you lied and pull him out of school. Yes, pull him out of school so that she doesn't have her kid in school and she's a single mom. And that's what they said. That's going to be the answer. And there it is right there. And here's the best part. She was arrested. Yes, December 3rd, arrested and charged with tampering with public records, a felony punishable up to 7 years in prison. What does it mean they're going to do? They are going to try to get her to plea. Of course, that's what the state does. Plea. Why? Do they actually care if she goes to jail? No. Do they care for kids vax? No. What they care about is she must be a symbol to show the rest of you doctors to shut up and do as we say, or we will punish you. We will make you a felon. We will take your license and livelihood away. We will destroy you because we're the state. You will do as we say when we tell you to say. That's it. That's what you'll do. If you don't like that, you're gone. We're going to punish you. Your rights, nothing. Freedom, nothing. That's New York State. And that's happening now. That was this month. That wasn't back in 2020 when we were all scared. Remember the excuse? Larry, I heard the excuse. Larry, we didn't know any better. Remember that excuse? We didn't know. Oh, we didn't know. We need grace. Grace, you're still doing it. You're still doing it. New York State has learned nothing. Nothing. They punish doctors. And you heard her. She said it. And you might go, wait a minute, Larry. Whoa. She must be hiding something. She's not. This is Syracuse.com. This is a regular mainstream media. If they were going to hammer her, they would have. They could have. Yeah. This is just another attack. And here, let me go one more if I could. One more. This actually is the lovely and talented Shannon Joy. You guys are like, Larry, why are you being my Shannon Joy? Because I adore her. That's why. So shut up. Let me adore her. I adore her. She's wonderful. She is hardcore. She doesn't stop. She just keeps fighting. It doesn't matter what they do. She does not care. She just keeps going. And she's going here too. Let me see if I can find it right here. Hold on. This is her on Rumble.
I think it's important to note, and it's important for everyone to understand that she is a doctor. She is a practicing doctor within New York State. She has been properly licensed, has no blemishes on her record,
This is her lawyer. Shannon Joy is interviewing her and her lawyer. Here's her lawyer, giving her the facts. No blemishes on her record. Nothing in the past that will make it like she did something wrong. None of that. That's not a thing. She's good to go, right? Licensed, all good.
Thriving practice that she just opened a few years ago, and she has hundreds of patients, right?
Yep.
And she was doing perfectly fine. She was not on the New York State Department of Health's radar at all.
None.
No issues with them. No issues with.
And again, he's saying this publicly as a lawyer. If he's lying, he's in trouble.
The licensing board suddenly this year in September of 2025, which is interesting because it's shortly after we had our victory in Oceanside. And,
this guy is killing it. He's out there getting lots of medical freedom victories. He is. Credit to him.
I gave quite a few, talks and discussions with parents and trying to explain to them what their legal rights are under New York State law, New York State regulations, and encouraging them to exercise those legal rights rather than resorting to homeschooling for their.
This guy, why is he not in jail? This guy's just telling people their rights. All these guys should be locked up. What is wrong with these people?
Children, go get a medical waiver. This is the process to follow. And there were parents who were on that list who put my doctor out and said, this is Dr. Ismail, her practice. She wrote me a medical waiver. She'll write one for you too.
Okay. Did you hear that? She said this was the end of her. This was the end. Patients who actually cared about her. Patients who actually gave a damn, they said, hey, if you want a waiver because you don't trust this jab, which parents have a right to not trust the jab if they don't want to, they have a right to do so. Not in New York. Theoretically, they do. They said, hey, go to this doctor will write you a waiver. They didn't say this doctor's anti-vax. They didn't say this doctor says you shouldn't get it. She doesn't. She says informed consent and do what you want, as every doctor should. Every doctor should give you as much information as they have. If they don't have it, show you where to get it. Every doctor, and say, hey, let's have a conversation, me and you, doctor and me, family. What should we do with whatever medical issue you and or your family has? That's what we should all be doing. Now, I'm smarter than you because I'm elite. Shut up and do as I say. That's what they would like to do. And yeah, so how dare her say this?
So, right. I mean, listen, I don't know who was on that talk. I don't know who was able to get access to, the chats and everything, but I'm sure the New York State Department of Health took a look at that and took a look at what I said, took a look at the people and the list and things.
So they're saying the New York Department of Health people went there to find out and then targeted her. I believe that 100%. Let me say it again. I believe that 100%. I don't know if he has evidence. I don't care. I believe it. It's exactly what New York State does. Wait a minute. She's not following the rules. We can get some press. We can show that we have value. We can punish people and show our power. Yes. Yes and yes. I believe him 100%. 100% I believe him.
So, it's entirely plausible that they saw that because she was one of the few doctors that anybody discussed in that entire chat. She was one of the few.
Wow.
So at that point, right, it was about a month after, actually, it was just a few weeks after I gave the chat and this talk to all these parents. Suddenly, and this is why they're acting, like you said, like gangsters and like an organized mafia in certain respects.
They are gangsters. Libertarians have been calling their government gangsters for how long? Yes. By the way, I want to make sure you get this. This is Shannon Joy. This is her Rumble account. Please follow her if you would. Please follow Shannon Joy. She's amazing. She's got a Twitter account too. Follow Shannon Joy. Please do so. I got this because of her. This is because of her. Full credit to her.
They ended up having served at her place of employment in front of all of her employees a letter from her school. Keep in mind, her child has been attending.
Now they served her at her job. They know where she lives, but they didn't do that. They could have served her in the morning. They could have served her at night. They could have served her at home on the weekend. Nope. Served her at her job in front of her patients. That is on purpose.
School for multiple years, no issues whatsoever, served at her place of employment in front of her patients, in front of her employees, a letter stating that her child was no longer going to be allowed in school starting the next day because she was being investigated for vaccine fraud. She was being investigated for fraud. And keep in mind, we have not received any charges. We have not received any evidence.
So there was no evidence, no charges, but I'm wrecking your life. Remember, the investigation is the punishment. That's the punishment. I mean, they went further because why not if you can? They kept going. Yes.
No idea where this complaint came from. We have no idea what this is in relation to, but they said the next day her child was going to be kicked out of school.
Yep.
And he had been attending school for 2 weeks, right? This was September 16th.
Threw the kid out of school.
And it was right at that 14 deadline, which, a lot of people have talked about in this vaccine waiver space, because in New York, it's very important for schools. They feel that they kick out the students after 14 days because God forbid.
It's important in New York to kick out kids from school because we care about education.
They let them go one day beyond 14 days with potentially questionable waivers or records. They believe that the New York State Department of Health will fine them $2,000 a day for every single day for a record that they disagree with.
So hear what he just said. The New York State Department of Health will fine the school $2,000 a day for a record that they don't believe in. Lawyer just said that publicly. $2,000 a day of your taxpayer money, to be clear, going from one agency to another, so government to government. How else can these guys make money if they don't rob it from school system? How else can they, right? So they have to validate their existence, which is probably a joke anyway. They have to validate their silly existence by what? By punishing. Look, Shannon's mouth, she can't believe, she's like, what? Yeah, every day. So your kid now gets to suffer. What if you were looking, as most people do, as school was your daycare? And she, by the way, the doctor, is her own practice. You're going to not be in your own practice because you got to take care of your kid now? Because you got investigated by some bureaucrat? And be forward, this is all just bureaucrats. No one is elected. One more time. This is how New York State works. Most do, but New York State works. No one's elected. It's just bureaucrats who have to validate their jobs. And their job is punishing you. We got to keep our taxes up so they can keep punishing you. We are paying taxes to be punished. Literally.
For example, a vaccine waiver signed by a doctor that they believe doesn't comply with the nationally recognized standards, which is interesting because that's a decision that's based on one state agency. How is it a national standard when it's based on one state agency?
Which makes it they can do whatever they want. This is what I keep telling you. They spend all their time figuring out and making details that are rules that are so detailed that no one can possibly follow them. Why? So when they decide to target you, you're done. The goal isn't to make things safer. The goal isn't to have the good law. The goal is to have so many rules and regulations that whenever they target you, you've done something wrong. So we can call you a criminal and call you a felon and call you a bad guy, whatever the case may be. When I hear felons, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I don't know. I have no idea. When you got charged, I don't know. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's some of this stupid shit they made up. Could be. We don't even know.
Agency, but that's neither here nor there, because she had official records that were officially in NISIS, no questions, no issues. Suddenly, in the middle of September, they tell her that they're having issues. And then by the end of the month, they had already launched a full-scale investigation against her.
Oh my God.
They had started contacting her patients. They had started contacting her employees.
So now they're contacting her patients and employees. She's not even charged yet. They're wrecking her life. They are wrecking her life. Some bureaucrats. Just wreck her life. Let's just wreck her life. Why? For a possible reason. Because some kids have decided, some parents decided they don't want their kids to have be forward. These aren't even people, I mean, not that I would care either way, but just to be forward. These aren't even people like, no vaccines. These people said, I don't like this one or that one. People who just want a different schedule. How dare you? Go to jail. Your life is wrecked. Do as we say or you will be punished. All that matters is the empire. Where's that from?
Knocking on their doors, calling them up, taking statements from them, saying, hey, did you know that Dr. Shareen Ismail is an anti-vaxxer?
Oh, my
Which
word.
insane, because she's written 5 vaccine waivers, 5 medical waivers for her patients. She
has hundreds of patients. She wrote 5 waivers. Let me say it again. See, look, Shannon can't believe this. She's like, what? I thought she was writing them left and right. No. Hundreds of patients, kids, wrote 5. 5 out of hundreds. I want to be clear on that, just so your brain gets that. Now she's anti-vax. She provides vaccines if you want them. All she does is say, hey, here's the information. Do as you see fit. And clearly, over 90% of her patients go, no, I'll take the jab. Great. You want it. Good for you. I'm not mad at you. You own your life. You should decide what's right for your kids. You want the jab. You want the stick. Go on with your bad self. You don't, go on with your bad self. Done. Do as you see fit. That's what matters. And she disagrees with that. I know, nuts. 5 out of hundreds. And the state said, no, you will comply 100% or you will be punished. That's what our state did. And you guys are talking to me about, well, you know, Kathy Hochul and Celeste Stefanik. This is the shit that matters. Trump is bad. Mamdani bad. This is the stuff that matters. People being wrecked every day. And what happens after they get her? And you got a kid. And you decide, I don't want this or I don't want that. Whatever the thing is. Now it's a jab. Might not be that. It might be food they eat. It might be clothes they wear. Who knows? Who knows? And now what happens? They come after you.
Let's accept patients from parents who might be off the typical vaccination schedule.
She accepts patients whose kids, not that aren't taking the jab. That's not what he said. That are off the typical schedule. Which means you either want to slow down, which, by the way, my wife did. Our kids were vaccinated very lightly, the maximum amount, and we went past. I mean, like we went past. She was worried. I don't want to shove all this stuff in my kids. She only the minimum amount required to get them into school. That's what she did. That's fine. Wouldn't matter to Fort. All good, whatever. Right? All good. But the point is, you should be able to do that if you want to. You want to slow down on schedule? Totally fine. Michael Gray, nicely done. Not medical freedom, medical tyranny. Nicely done. I like that one. That was good.
Because offices throughout New York State, we all know here on the ground here in New York State that they're kicked out of those practices when they don't follow the normal schedule. So she accepts them, but they're
So again, I'm not even saying, he's not saying that you're against it. You're like, I would like to change the schedule. That's all you're saying. Kicked out of the practice. Why? Because the government comes down on you. You will do what we say, when we say, how we say. You will put in your child's body what this bureaucrat says. Shut up or we will wreck you. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Well, I care about blah, blah, blah from Hochul Bad or Mom Don. No, this matters.
Calling her an anti-vaxxer for accepting those patients and providing them with health care when other pediatrician offices throughout the state won't provide them with health care. So it's completely backwards. But anyway, so she receives word. She knows that she has an individual at the County Department of Health that she's able to reach out to. This person has no personal relationship. She's just the person in charge at the County Department of Health who's in.
Phil says, I love it when a bureaucrat with an associate's degree punishes the doctor. Well, this is purity, Phil. I mean, one of them represents the empire, one doesn't. So you know who's better.
Charge of the vaccine records.
Your piety
Shareen
matters.
sends it, Dr. Ismail sends it over her vaccine record and says, is there anything here that looks fraudulent, anything that looks wrong? The person sends back an email, a fax, and says, no, this looks completely fine.
And that's the problem. The problem is once you give the government any validation, they take it. He goes, okay, okay. Can you see this? No. You're not supposed to get validation. The goal is not validation. The goal isn't whether you're right or wrong. The goal is compliance. The goal is compliance. That's the key. And she would not comply. Guilty. Remember, the worst crime that you can make in America, the worst crime, not murder, mass murder, whatever. That's whatever. That's whatevs. Cannibalism, whatevs. Worst crime, heresy. That's the worst crime. Heresy. How dare you doubt government and its righteousness? How you must pay for that. And you must pay publicly for that. Because that we can't have. Well, I murdered a dude. We know that. But do you worship government? I do. You'll be fine. 5 years, get out. Oh, okay. Me, I think the government's wrong. What? Your life is ruined forever. Heresy is a worse crime. And you guys think I'm joking. I'm not. Her life, if she had murdered a kid, they'd be like, okay, maybe lose your license, maybe suspended, who knows? Some excuses, lawyer back and forth. She'll, 5 years later, she's still working, her life's fine. But you don't, but you will not make 100% of your people, 5 out of hundreds is not enough, 100% do exactly what they tell you in the jab, life over. Ruined.
And looks legitimate, no issues. So we send that over to the school and we say, hey, where are you getting this from? You're saying she's being investigated for fraud. The County Department of Health said that there's nothing wrong with these. They look perfectly fine. So where are you getting this from? And so shortly after that, when I demanded that they tell us who is investigating her, I get a response from his name is Joseph Giovanetti. And he is...
Shannon writing that down. What's that guy's name again? Look at Shannon. Okay, I'm writing that one down. Joseph, you about to get a couple phone calls. Just saying. Shannon writing that down. Look at
the director of the Department of the Bureau of Immunizations for the New York State Department of Health.
He's like, I'm going to get, look at her. She's like, I'm going to get him. He's in trouble. That's literally what's happening right now.
Emails me and he says that her practice is going to be raided the next week.
Shannon can't believe it. She's like, what?
That they're going to come and do.
Oh, he getting a phone call.
Do an audit, right? I call it a raid. They were coming to do an audit for full practice. And they were going to go through all the records. And we know how these political witch hunts go.
He called the political witch hunt because it is. Witch hunt, perfect. Because it's heresy. That is her crime. Confess your sins against the Pope, against the Holy Church of the state of New York. Confess your sins. This is her crime. Heresy. This is a political witch hunt. He is correct. That is true. Now, here's the problem. What if you don't have a lawyer like him?
Going to look for anything that they could possibly find to label her as a fraudster. And so when I stepped in and I said, you're not doing the audit and you're going to give us the legal authority for why you think that you can go through any of her records, they served her with a subpoena. And then
see, if she didn't have that lawyer, it'd have been like done. Now they had to get a subpoena. It's crazy.
They put her on the New York State fraud awareness website and took away all of her privileges to enter vaccines into the NICIS database. Again, no charges have been formally brought against her.
And this is the problem I bring up with New York State constantly. It's all over, but all the time, constantly. Because we allow boards and commissions and bureaucrats to just make laws. We do it all the time. There's no recourse. We go, well, we just sue. There's no recourse. We have just farmed out all responsibility. Well, there's got to be a law or whatever. No, this stuff isn't law. This stuff is regulation created by boards all across our state. Therefore, it doesn't matter if you call some senator or a state senator or some state somebody like, we don't have the power to do anything. They can't do anything. Yes, there's no recourse. The only recourse is the broken court system or the governor. The governor doesn't care. She talks to God, so she's good. But the courts don't care. They laugh at this stuff.
At this point, in terms of from any professional office, from any criminal law enforcement agency, we're at the beginning of October, right? We were just notified 2 weeks ago that they thought that there was an issue with their child information records. And she's all. And
this keeps going. I'm not going to keep going any further, but I went for a bit. If you guys want to watch it, please head over to Shannon Joy. Check out her on Rumble. You can watch it's over an hour long. Talks to him, talks to her. It's a great thing to watch. Please enjoy it if you would. I wanted to bring it to your attention to bring this up because it ends up with her getting arrested. They don't stop. It's months long. Now, this guy is a crusader. He's a crusader, so he's going to do what he can for the cheapest price. Well done for this lawyer. Nicely done. Nothing but love. He's doing his best and getting wins. So he's a crusader and true believer. Well done. But on top of that, she has some cash because she has her own practice. But she's divorced. And it goes deeper down. Hubby now jumped on board and went, oh, you're in trouble? Hubby wants to take the kid. She's going to lose her kid now because now she's a bad fraudster and a bad person. And clearly, if you don't want to jab your kid, you're a bad parent, obviously. Obviously, you're a bad parent. You don't want to jab your kid. Wow, do you really deserve your kid? I mean, no, you don't. We know this. I wish I was talking. I wish I was joking. I'm not. Let me grab some comments. Walk down. I've gone down a bunch of roads with this. I hope that was interesting for you guys. I wanted to support Shannon Joy as I always want to. Guys, again, head over to Rumble if you can. It is called The Shannon Joy Show. That is her Rumble account. Please check her out. Sign up. Watch her stuff. She's great. A New Yorker, just like me. A New Yorker, just like me. So I think she's outside of Rochester, if I'm not mistaken. I think she is. I'm pretty sure that's where she is. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, let me walk down a couple of these if I could. Number one, let's see here. Adirondacks, I really like the Viva Fry interview. Thank you. I also liked it. Those who don't know, I was on his show yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I was on it yesterday. It came out. If you check it out, Google Viva Fry and Larry Sharpe, you'll see it. It's about 2 hours long. For some reason, he really, and I don't mind, but he really wanted to talk about my background, which I didn't mind at all. But most people go right to, why are you so stupid libertarian? That's the norm. He did not do that. I mean, some of his people in his chat were all about, why are you stupid libertarian? I accepted that, but he didn't do that. So that was nice. I appreciate that. Yes. Oh, righty. Mike Voss in the house, a bit earlier tonight. How you doing? I am early. I've got a special thing going on this evening. I had to find time for an AMA, so I had to rub it in right in here. I had to push it in right in here. Sam says, why have choices when you can get a bunch of unelected bureaucrats and politicians with donations to get together and decide what's best for us? You're not wrong. Why? Look, Sam, thinking is hard. Just saying. Thinking is tough. So why think if you don't have to, right? Let's just have bureaucrats who I'm sure have nothing but our best in mind, and they will tell us what to do, and we can stop thinking, and it's done. You are right. I'm with you. Sarcasm accepted. Andrea says, how dare she? That's blasphemy. Just ask left. True. See, Andrea, you get it. You understand. You know what blasphemy is. You know what sacrilege is. You know what heresy is. These are all crimes against the church of the state. You need to get with it. People make me sick. Act like you know something. You got a kid, like all of a sudden your parent matters. It doesn't. That kid's owned by the state. Get it right. So yes. Mrs. says, please share this out to all platforms with your friends and followers. Everyone know that Larry's live right now. She's right. I know I bug you. You're like, why, Larry? Why do you keep asking me to do this? I'm just trying to listen to your show because I think you are so super handsome and smart. And yes, I am indeed both super handsome and super smart. True. But why are you so greedy? Share me with others. She's correct. Share me with others. You can do so. Don't be so greedy. Right? So repost this someplace, share this someplace, do something like that if you can, put it into a Facebook or whatever. Let other people talk to me. And of course, please be sure you subscribe to this channel or page, whatever you're watching this on. Please subscribe to it. Why? I had to cut everything in half. Shed notice. I have to keep my Larry Sharpe for Governor stuff separate now and Sharpe separate. Trash is everything. Everything's cut in half. Marketing's cut in half. Everything's cut in half. Audience cut in half. Everything's cut in half. Everything's cut. And I'm so busy trying to run this damn campaign, I can't spend as much time doing this. Tough putting out content. So what do I need? To make two of me? That would like shake the universe. No, I need you to assist me. I need you to help. She is correct. Share this and subscribe. It really does matter. It's important. If you want your comment or question to go to the front, you can super chat me on YouTube or rant me on Rumble. Either of those will work. Feel free to do so. But no matter what we do here, click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. It matters. Interaction matters tremendously. It's how they move forward. So please do that if you would. Speaking of super chats, Duke of Facts, thank you for the $5, my friend. What do you think about the abomination that is digital currency the central banks are trying to push to control your money? Okay. I'm going to try to give you realism on this, Duke. Realism. I hate it, but I understand it. It is a terrible idea, not because digital currency is a terrible idea. Digital currency is not a terrible idea. And the conceptually of having one centralized or understood currency, in theory, only in theory, not in practice at all, which I'm against it. I get the theory behind it. Well, if everyone has one, it's the same, it's easy to trade. Theoretically, in a magical, mystical world of us all being good and perfect, fine. Maybe we write a book about that and unicorns and leprechauns ride around each other. Maybe then. But in the real world, all it is that what you said? It is control. So what I'd rather have is a bunch of decentralized currencies that over time would float back and forth and have actual value that we decide upon. No better or worse than fiat, but at least now not controlled by one entity, right? If we have to go that route, I'm okay if we have to go that route. But I understand why and why it's going to happen. As you know, Duke, you're saying this because you know already, but some people watching or listening may not know. The dollar is crashing and eventually has to burn. Who knows when? Is that next year? Is that 20 years? I don't know. It's going to burn eventually. It has to. The value is going down and down and down. The other people across the world are trying to de-dollarize. They're not buying our bonds as much. Japan's backing out. China's backing out. They're not buying our debt as much. America's dollar is going to crash. I don't know when, right? Next year, 20 years, whatever. I think between now and 100 years. How about that? That's very big. Okay, anyway, but it will eventually crash. Eventually, America's going to see that and go, damn, we just can't go any further. At one point, I don't know when, is that $50 trillion in debt? Whatever that number is. Eventually, it's done, whenever that number happens. And America has an option. Do I go bankrupt and default? Well, no, I'm America. I don't do that. What I do is I make a digital currency. I go, oh yeah, see that dollars we give out? It's not dollars, it's bit dollars or whatever, US digital dollar, whatever. It's the thing they name it. It's that. And that's worth this amount. Well, what do you mean it's worth this amount? I said it's worth this amount. Oh, I'm sorry. So you're going to bomb me and not give me money and punish me if I don't say that. Right. Correct. Yeah. If you don't want to agree with what I'm saying, you can ask Gaddafi what happens. Oh, wait, you can't. That's okay. You can ask Saddam Hussein what happens. Oh, wait, yeah, you can't do that either. Yeah. No, you can't ask him either. Too bad. So yeah, you can't ask those guys because we took care of those guys. So you're going to accept our digital currency is worth this, or you might end up in a box. And they're going to go, okay, it's that because you said so. I don't want to end up in a box. And that's how that works. And that's what we'll do. So that's why it's coming, because it's the only way to save our currency. Our currency is doomed. I mean, it was doomed since 1913. The question was timing. So since it was doomed, and people still believe, Dukes, I just let you know, they still believe in MMT, which for those who know what MMT is, it's officially called modern monetary theory. And with this theory, by the way, total garbage, but this is what the theory is. The theory is it doesn't matter how much money we print. Debt is irrelevant. Why? Because people will always need dollars, because the dollar is the reserve currency. Therefore, we can print as much as we want, and it doesn't matter. That is literally a theory. Now, you're saying to yourself, if you know economics at all, that's impossible. That can't be right. Like there's no way that can be right. True. There's no way that can be right. And they believe it. They're like, yes, this is it. That's how it works. It does not. And because it doesn't work that way, but people still believe it or want to believe it, they're going to keep pushing the dollar until it collapses. And this will be the answer. You might go, but Larry, how would we use it? We don't want to use it. We will. Here's how we'll use it. The AI is going to help us move forward, by the way. Why? As people get laid off, and as they are getting laid off, they're going to be getting checks from the government, whether that's disability checks, Social Security checks, STIMI checks, unemployment checks, whatever, right? Whatever it is. Eventually, UBI checks. I know some of you just threw up in your mouth. Mike just threw his shoe at the freaking computer. But eventually, UBI checks, unless I stop it, that's going to happen. When those checks come out, they're just going to say, hey, if you want your EBT, if you want your Social Security, great. You're going to take it in digital dollars. That's it. That's how they make it. Overnight, digital dollars are real. Why? The government drops how many billions of dollars every year in handouts? Well, now the handouts are digital dollars because I say so. So who'll take them? Everybody will. Because seniors drop a lot of money on stuff, and now they're dropping it in digital dollars. Yep. They'll say, we're going to give you your education dollars that we give to every state. Digital dollars. The average state is 1/3 of their budget comes from the federal government. People don't know that. The average state is about 1/3 of the budget comes directly from the federal government. So they're going to say, yeah, we're going to give you that money that you want in digital dollars. You're not take it? Of course you are. They can put digital dollars into play. American government can. 30 days, 60 days at max, 90 at the long run, but 60 days for sure. Boom, digital dollars like that. We don't know. Most of us don't use dollars anyway. Most of us use cards anyway. Some people use dollars. Most of us use cards anyway. We'll just use cards, be digital dollars and not dollars. It'll happen so fast, we won't even know. And I hate that I'm saying this, Duke. I hate it. It is terrible. I don't want it to happen. And unless we change something, and here is my answer to change stuff. My answer is going to sound crazy, but it's true, is localism. I'd rather have a local digital currency so that people don't want to use those big currencies. Not just that. I'd rather have it to where communities can support themselves. They don't need federal funds. If you don't need federal funds, you don't get stuck in digital currency. I've been talking about this since 2018. Localism, localized currencies, localized trading. I don't require the federal government. I don't need a digital dollar at that point. I don't need it. If you want to use it, feel free. I don't want to stop you. Again, no laws against it, but no laws forcing it. If you like a digital dollar and it's what you want, grab it. You do you. But I don't want to force it. That's the issue. So I went kind of long on that, but yeah, you kind of hit a nerve there. I know Mike just got mad. He hates UBI. I get it, but I'm just saying it is everywhere. The future. So yes. All right. Let me keep going down here if I can. All righty. So many of these. I do want to keep going. All righty. Missy brings the idea, but where do you sign politically? Take the free quiz, The Advocates for Self-Government, to find out. It's easy, quick, and fun. True, but I'm going to go someplace else. She's right. I'm going someplace else. The Advocates for Self-Government, that's that link you see there, and also at the link you also see for the link to the Advocates in Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. That link doesn't just go to that test, that quiz. It does, but it also goes to a very important quiz, and that is the pandemic survey. Yes. You can pop over there and go to single issue surveys. And when you get there, click on the pandemic survey. It's a separate question. Ask you how you feel. Question 1, just so you can see it here. We need a strong central government that will enforce national quarantine in place rules, preventing local authorities from making decisions to the contrary. Option 1. Option 2. The decision to enforce quarantine in place should be a matter of states' rights, as this power was never given to the federal government. Piece 3. Quarantine in place should not be coercively enforced at all, as such policies give governments too much power, harm the economy, and only delay the virus's spread. Which is closest to your belief? Right? Click on that, whichever one that was. Randomly, I'll pick the third one, not because I believe it, but I'm just saying randomly, I pick the third one. Which of the following most closely aligns with your beliefs? Question 2. If mask wearing is going to be enforced by law, then penalties should be limited to civil fines. Mask wearing should be strictly enforced to protect the vulnerable. I would support the police ticketing people and even arresting those who refuse. Mask wearing should be only enforced by business owners. Government should not force free people to wear masks. What do you think? Ask this question. And I go, Larry, why would I want to go through this? Because we're dealing with this right now. I just showed you some of this stuff being dealt with now. The government has learned nothing from this. Nothing. Take this quiz, and when you're done, share it. Now, some of you aren't doing it. I know you're not. Larry, I don't need it. Do you want to help this show? Okay. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you hate me. Okay. I know why you hate me. I don't hate you. Well, I might hate you. I don't think I hate you. I might hate you. Okay. I probably don't hate you. Right? So why won't you do this? Go and take the test. I'm not joking. Go and take it and share it. You do that, then my sponsor is happy. Right? Do that and my sponsor's happy. Why do you hate my sponsors? Don't do that. Why are you so damn hateful? Do as I'm asking you. Go take it and share it. Everybody's happy. The advocates for self-government. Why does it matter so much? I support them and they support me. Why? Because we both agree that we need more and better self-government. And most of that is because of culture. That's the issue. The more people hear about this, the more they feel comfortable, the more they change, the more we can be localized, the more we can walk away from government, the more we can support each other, the advocates for self-government. All right, I'm going to keep going down this road if I could. Thank you for that, Missy. Adirondack says, it's so sad seeing all those unvaxxed polio kids with measles out in the streets in their wheelchairs and iron lungs. I didn't see any of those. Oh, you're joking. Got it. Okay. Mr. Tazingo says, a lot of kids' lives have been saved from tuberculosis or measles shots. The COVID vaccine was just a grift. No way that a properly working vaccine would be created within a span of 2 years. I'm not saying you're wrong on any of this stuff, right? I'm not a huge, to be forward. Many people think because I support medical freedom that I'm somehow some medical guru, right? I'm not. The point is, you should be able to decide whatever medicine goes into your body, whatever medicine that is. I'm not against you getting all the jabs. Get them all or none or whatever. It doesn't matter, right? If the reality of it is this works to protect you, and I'm assuming it does work, great, get it. If you think, no, it's not worth the risk for me, I'm prepared to risk. Okay, take the risk. I'm not here to tell you what to do. So, oh, great, you're right. And the point is for most people who did not want to get the COVID jab was because of that COVID jab. Most people were not anti-vax in general. Them forcing it made more people anti-vax. A lot of people weren't. They were against that, but they weren't. I mean, you've always had a group of people who can't stand vaccines. That's always been true. Okay, don't get vaccines. I don't care. Don't do it. Right? It's fine. But some people weren't. They were just scared of that one, and then boom. Yes. Mike says, why is there an increase in measles and mumps? Venezuela healthcare collapse 2018, increasing M7M. I don't know what that is. By 1,000% per the WHO plus migrant caravans, but Dems blame the unvaxxed instead to avoid global. True. Look, there's an issue all around the world. It isn't just here. And then it's coming here. True. Yes. Absolutely. Missy's on the same side. I try to tell people about the science and no way to properly conduct a vax so fast. True. Yes. Agreed. There we go. Oh, Sam says that. Remember when 20 million people snuck over the borders? It's a good thing they all have 100% of their jabs. I wonder if education is still a human right or if that's only for the jabbed. Yeah, no, education is a human right only for the jabbed. To be forward, Sam, if you're not jabbed, you're not really human. Just saying, you're not really human. I mean, you look like one, but you're not. So, human rights only for the vaxxed. Yeah, how it works. Duke says, thank you for $10, my friend. The Bank of International Settlements, the central bank of central banks, like CBDC because it's programmable. True. In controlling how and what you spend it, turn it on or off if you misbehave. Bad idea. Yes, there's the piece that I was saying, right? In the perfect world, as I said, theory, not practice. If we're just having a theoretical, high-minded conversation about stuff, I get it, right? I understand why someone might think that, again, in a high-minded theoretical conversation. In practice, it will be used to punish. You're absolutely correct. Not only that, it will be used to control. So they're going to decide that, okay, Duke, you get to buy a pound of rice a month. Why? Because I say so. That's why. But I would like to buy 2 pounds. No. And if you try to buy more than a pound, we're going to stop you with our CBDC because you only get 1 pound of rice a month. Period. That's what you get. Well, I'm going to get someone else. Oh, we find them out. We're going to punish both of you. Now, you guys cannot buy rice for a year. Neither one of you can because you cheated and he bought a pound of rice and gave it to you, and you can't do that. Why? Because we deem it so. So now you guys, none of you can buy rice for a year. Now, if you're keto like me, who cares? But there's no point. I should be able to buy all the rice that I can buy that I want, and so should you. And they'll do exactly that. And then it'll be worse. Once they won't control that, they'll also say, "Oh, Duke, you want a new car? No, you don't need to get a new car. You get a new car every 7 years because again, we decided so." But you go, "But I need a new car now." 7 years. Oh, okay, but I need a new car now. Too bad. 7 years. That's how we decided that. Worse. I want a new car in 7 years. No, 10 years. Or now, buy a car now. Well, I don't want to buy a car now. Look, we had too many cars. Duke, go buy a car. I don't want to buy a car now. Yes, but we need to get rid of these cars because we centralized planned for all these cars. People didn't buy them, so you have to buy one. Well, I don't want to buy one. Buy one. If you don't buy one, you're not going to pay your rent. What do you mean? I wouldn't let you pay your rent. I'm going to kick that out of my house. So buy a car. I wish I was joking. I'm not. Duke, you are 100% correct. They won't just turn it off for misbehavior, which they will. They will also force you to do things. You must buy this or not buy that. You must do this or can't buy that. You can only have X amount of this or you must buy Y of this. And here's the best part. Nothing we're buying. Duke, you talked bad about the CBDC. That's the worst crime of all. That's heresy. That's worse than not buying a car when we tell you to buy a car. That's worse than buying too much rice. That's worse than that. That's worse than murdering people. You said bad stuff about the CBDC. Yeah, I think we're going to debank you completely. You are now basically unable to purchase anything. So good luck with that. Hope you have friends. And if friends help you too much, we'll punish them too. Yes. Phil jumping on board for a member for 11 months. Oh my God, brother. Thank you. Before the mandates, I was willing to be part of the vax trials. Once they had a mandate, I refused. I wanted to be brave. Bravery became resistance. Oh, I am so going to steal that. Bravery became resistance. And I'm going to give you literally no credit. I'm just going to act like I've made it up myself. So yes, that's amazing. Bravery became resistance. Yes. When you force people don't want to do it. They just don't. You just can't force them. I completely agree. It's a good one. All right. Grab some more of these. Nosy says, I made it. There we go. Andrew says, dang, I'm late. This is going to be spicy. There's some spicy stuff there. A little bit. Not crazy, though. Not crazy. Paul says, I met manipulation and abusive relationship. The government's like an abusive spouse. Yes. And you can't get away. There's no divorce. Paul says, I wish you interview this physician and her attorney. Maybe I will. I mean, she's already done a good job of it. I mean, I guess I could. I'd be funnier. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Let me reach out and see. I'm not, if it'll help. I'm not sure it would help. I mean, Shannon has a much larger audience than I have, and her audience is much more tied into this. She did a great job in her interview. But yeah, I guess I could try. I'm just not sure it's worth it. Shannon's interview is great. Please go check her out. So, yeah. All righty. Paula goes on to say, Queen Kathy liked to punish other women. No sisterhood for Queen Kathy. Oh, when you're part of her, you have to worship her. Remember, she talks to God. And some of you may be thinking I'm joking about that. She said that. All these things I said, like I'm making them up. They do. So, Pepperoni is over on Rumble. Pepperoni, I owe you a call. I am so behind. I'm going to get to you. I promise. I have not forgotten about you. I am absolutely going to. I'm just so far behind on so many things. I'm trying to catch up to the best of my ability. So, yeah, I do appreciate it. Pepperoni is in the house over on Rumble. He says 12 states have passed laws for doctor-assisted suicide. What is your position? I worry. I have to do the same thing. Theory and practice. In theory, it's your life, right? So theory, it's your life. Do as you see fit, right? Up to you, your life. In practice, this is a slippery slope, specifically because we're going more and more towards state-sponsored, in almost every way, medical care. That's the problem. State-sponsored medical care is what makes it afraid. In my theoretical world, yeah, why not? Sure, it's your life. In practice, I worry tremendously about this, because I'm concerned about all of a sudden it becomes like Canada. I have to say it like Canada, to where, well, you know, the smart thing to do is end yourself, and that's my worry, is that becomes the norm, right? I'm concerned about that. So theoretically, fine. You own your life. Do what you see fit. In practice, maybe I could see it if we completely changed our medical system to where to where the doctor's goal would be to keep you alive as much as possible. And everyone's goal would be that, because they're not trying to save money, right? So I think I could be turned, if that makes sense, because theoretically I'm on board. In practice, that was where I worry. I hope that makes sense at least. I appreciate it. Space Jason, in a sense, we already have all the ills of CBDC. The government steals and sends my money to places I never heard of or give a shit about, and there's nothing they can do about it. Yes, that part's true, and then with the banking aspect, it's kind of true. Know your customer laws, KYC laws, were supposed to be to stop the bad guys, the terrorists, from getting us. They're utter garbage. And all they actually do is punish us. They act like a CBDC. They allow them to cut us off and debank us. So we have a bunch of chunks, Space Station, of it, but not as bad as it would be, right? Duke of Hex is correct. If we actually went to an actual CBDC, it would be way easier and way worse. But I think your point's a valid one. We're kind of on our way already. And that's the harsh part. Wow. That's the hardest part, is that what you're saying is so true. We're already on our way. Most people won't even notice. This is the point, Space Jason. You're right. This is the point. Most people won't even notice until all of a sudden they can't pay their rent. They're forced to buy a car. All of a sudden they go, wait a minute. This is that CBDC stuff Larry Sharpe was talking about. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Yep. All righty. Thank you for the $12, Andrew. Do you think the government influenced the media to spread vax encouragement? 100% yes. 100% yes. I think it's obvious. 100% yes. I think it's obvious they did. It's obvious it was the idea of, this is a way of, there were many things that this, the lockdowns, the mandates, it did many things that helped the elites and crushed the people. And the sad part is, most people don't see it as the lockdowns doing it. They see it as, well, what are you going to do? There was a pandemic. They think that, right? That's the story that's been told, but that's not it. It was a massive transfer of wealth from the middle class and the working class to the wealthy. Massive. It was pushed by the government. It's what made the billionaires even billionaire-y and more billionaire-y. That's a word now. I just made it up. It's now a word. Stop, Andrew. It's a word. More billionaire-y. Thank you. Done. Okay. Put that in the dictionary.com. Anyway, so that's what happened. And not just that, It trained people to just be afraid and do what the government said. It showed the government how compliant we would be. It did nothing but bad, bad, and bad. It showed that if the government decides it's going to put something in your arm, it can make you believe that it's righteous to do so, which so many people believe that. You know, people will get into a car with someone and go, you know, did you get vaccinated? No, I didn't. It's okay. I did to protect you. That's the kind of thing people were actually saying, right? I protected you because I'm so righteous. I'm so awesome. Look at me. I'm a hero. Jam, you a hero. I didn't know that. Get you a shirt with that. Yes, they were heroes. So 100% they did. The media did it. The government did it. All the elites wanted this to happen. And the funny part is many of the elites never even got the jab. So yes, 100% I agree. Yes, that's what happened. It was and altogether. So yes. Michael says, wait, why are they throwing parents in jail now? Because you didn't do what I said, Michael. You somehow thinking you have the rights over your kid? Enough of that. Parents' rights. What's wrong with you? You don't have any rights over your kid. God. Okay. Paul says, so basically we're slaves who can't decide what's safest for our kids. True. Yes. Yes. Correct. All righty. D says, AMA, does Larry stand grandly with Thomas Massie? Yes, indeed. I do stand with Thomas Massie. 100%. Yes. One of the guys who's literally trying his best to actually be principled. I know. Crazy. I know. Crazy. But yes. True. All righty. Apollo goes on to say, I guess the doctor will wind up in Florida like everyone else. Bocas love this time of year. They all run away. I agree. Phil is over on Rumble. Thank you for the $1 rant. Viva Fry said that you look like Gus Fring, a.k.a. Giancarlo Esposito. What do you think about the picture of you as Gus Fring on X? I think it's great. I'm happy to be that guy. Except didn't he get blown up at the end? I had to get blown up at the end? I don't want to get blown up at the end. But, okay, do I like win the governorship first, then get blown up? We'll do that then. It's fine. He gets blown up at the end, doesn't he? So, yeah. I don't want, did I just like do spoilers? Okay, if I did spoil, too bad. Breaking Bad's like 95 years old. You should have watched it already. You had enough time to watch it and be mad at me with spoilers. But yeah, I think he does. Yeah, but I like it. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. All right. Grab some more of this if I can. I grabbed. Oh, hold on. Someone is talking. You guys talking. Oh, there we go. All right. Biquote says, because the gulag isn't big enough. Is it ever? I mean, is it ever? It's never big enough. We can always, I never forget. I bring this up all the time. It's a quote from some Polish freedom fighter after World War II. When for those who don't know, when after World War I, when the Germans had initially beat the Russians and then lost the war, the Russians came into Poland to try to take over Poland. The Soviets did. And the Poles fought them back in a war like 1920, 21, something in that area. And they pushed the Russians back. People don't know that, but that actually happened. The Soviets came in and the Poles pushed them out after World War I. After World War II, well, when the Soviets came in, the Poles were like, okay, no, we're going to push you back. And the Soviets like, no, you're not. We are going to be as bad as the Nazis, if not worse. And we're going to arrest you, put you all away. And it was a time when a Polish dissident goes to the Soviet officer, you can't arrest us all. And the Soviet officer said, why not? Why not? We just get bigger gulags. We're Soviets. No one makes gulags better than Soviets. Like that's our thing. Like that's our thing. Gulags, we got you. We got that's better. No one does gulags better than Russians. They got that shit down. They're like, how many do you need? 10, 20, 100? Tons of space, tons of gulags. No worries. There was a saying in Poland after the war, and there are three types of Poles. Those who are in jail, those who were in jail, those who will be in jail. Those are three types. So, yes, the gulags are never big enough. So, all righty. HVAC says, oh, right back to you. Not enough people are in gulags. Senator Tom Cotton, maybe. That's cottony. That's cottony. I'll take that. Paul says, does RFK Jr. know about this? You know what? I don't know. Good question. You know what? Good question. I guess maybe maybe we should try to figure that out, Paula. That's nice. I like that. Very nice. Nosy said, what really makes me sick about all this BS is people have a choice, but not enough balls to make the choice. Here's the problem, Nosy. You're not wrong, but I got to give a but here. And that is when everyone around you either tells you you're wrong for being against the grain or literally won't do anything, just does nothing. How do you step up? Right? When everyone around you, when you go, I'm going to step up and do so-and-so, and everyone goes, dude, what are you doing? Don't stop. No one's going to protect you. You know, this doctor at least has a lawyer who's going to do his best. She has some money, his own practice. What if you're just some Joe Schmo guy with a job and a family, just some guy, some gal, and they do this to you? What are you going to do? You can't afford to drop 10 grand on a lawyer. You don't have it. You wouldn't even know to do it. Everyone around you like, stop. And your boss could be like, you got in trouble for that? Oh, dude, you didn't tell me that. I can't have you here. You were on the news. You fired. Lose your job. Your friends go, you're an anti-vaxxer? Oh my God, I can't have you play with my kids. Now your kid loses his friends. They took her kid out of school. He lost his friends. You can't lose your friends now because no one defends you? I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're asking a lot when society will either abandon you or attack you. And no one will stop you when the government comes after you. What I've been saying since 2018, the state government's job should be to protect you from the local bully. That's what the number one job should be. Protect you from the local bully. And there's always a local bully. There's always a local bully. But they don't. Sadly, the local bully is the state government. So, yes. All right. Grab some more of these. Sharpe says, is there a Trump executive order for this problem? Just thought. I mean, I wouldn't mind one for this one. But he can't pardon her. It's not federal crime, right? So Hoke will have to step in and pardon her. But she never do that. Never do that. No. She worships the jab. Hoke probably knows about it. It's like, good. Hoke was like, good. That's what he is. That's what Hoke was like right now. Nice. HVAC says, translation, the Department of the Bureau of something or other has investigated itself and found no wrongdoing on the Bureau's behalf. True. That's every other day. Yes. Matt Ice is in the house, and Matt says, Larry, my mom decided to go keto. Can you give me the TLDR of the first group keto? What to do, and then something about I need to get ketone test strips. Yes, I'll give you all three of those. This is an AMA, so I'll cover those. Let me keep going down here. First piece, the first week of keto is very tough. Most people get what's called the keto flu. Not all people get it. It's not a flu. It's called the keto flu. It is basically withdrawal symptoms. When you go on keto initially, the idea of not having carbs, your body sees all carbs as sugar. That's all carbs become as sugar, whether you're eating a potato or a candy bar. Now, those do react differently in your body, but at the end, like it's, a potato takes a lot longer to turn into sugar, where a candy bar, 2 seconds. A Coke, half a second, right? Turns right into it, right? Immediately. Goes right into your bloodstream, right into sugar. A potato will also just take more time, all that kind of good stuff. So your body sees it all as the same thing. Sugar, carbs, same thing. So when you stop that, your body now is going to go into sugar withdrawal. Then you might go, but Larry, I don't eat sugar. I eat pasta. Your body sees it the same way. Some of you will not want to hear that because we've been lied to for years. Pasta and chocolate, soda and bread, same thing in your body. Same thing. Now, they react differently because of how they're processed or not. That's true. But it's carbs. Your body sees no difference in that as it's making energy. All the same. So if you cut out those carbs, your body now has to change itself to going into producing ketones and a different form of energy, right? Basically fat is the energy it goes into versus carbs. So when it happens, there's literally withdrawal symptoms. She'll get edgy. She'll get extra hungry. She'll be tired. All the things. They call it keto flu. It's withdrawal. Depends upon who you are and how long she's been doing it. It can last anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks. I know that's horrible, but it could. Depends on the person, depends how long it takes. It could do either of those things, right? It could be. The issue is she has to fight through it and not break. She has to keep herself under 40 grams of carbs, preferably under 20 for the first couple of days. What makes this easier? Here's what makes this easier. Exercise. It does not have to be hard exercise at all. Literally just walking. If she can do any whatever exercise she likes, do it 2 or 3 times a day and drink lots of water. Not just water, which you're also missing often is electrolytes, which means things like salt, magnesium, stuff like that. So have some form of electrolyte mix that's non-carbs, non-carb electrolyte. It could just be salt water, literally. Could be ACV in water, right? Could be apple cider vinegar in water. Could be that. Could be magnesium pill, whatever. You pick whatever makes the most sense. Something with water. Drink that exercise. Why do you exercise? The more you exercise, you burn all those carbs that are in your body out and turns your body into ketosis quickly. The sooner you get into ketosis, the better off, the less keto flu you have. I've been in keto now for 15 years. I go in and out of ketosis within like 10, 12 hours. And I fast at least once a month where I don't eat for a day or two. And I often go what's called OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. I often go to OMAD once a month, once every week, whatever. Once in a while, I just do it. So once you get into that mode, it becomes very easy. I can get in and out of ketosis within a day or two. The average person, when they start, it takes a while, 2 days, 10 days, something like that in between, depends on the person. So what she can do to make things better, keep her carbs very low, lots of water, electrolytes, because she's going to be going into withdrawal. No, she'll go into it. If she eats a lot of sugar, if she's pre-diabetic, this is going to be challenging for her. Being very forward, be challenging. Over time, people will say this because statistically it's true. Over time, most people will fail on keto. I'm just saying the truth. They call it unsustainable because it has about a 67% failure rate. It's not easy to do. Here's what I will tell you. If you can do keto for a year or 2, you're set. The people who fail, I did it for like 3 months and stopped, did it 6 months and stopped. Yes. Here is the thing I'll give you that if you want to maintain keto, here is your rule. Once you're in ketosis, you may only break ketosis, only time, when you know in advance and you specifically say it. Here's what I mean by that. Christmas is coming. And you decide, well, for Christmas, I don't want to have a keto Christmas. I want to have a regular Christmas with potatoes and cranberry sauce and ice cream. Okay. Here's what you must do. I will break ketosis noon Christmas Day. I made that time up. I don't care when it is. And I'm going to go back on noon the 26th. What I mean by that, you must have total control of when you're going to break. And you may never break unless you have total control over that break. Once you just go, hey, whatever, it's candy. I'll have some candy. You are finished. You must be like, there's candy. I don't care. I'm not eating it. I didn't say in advance that I'm going to break for Halloween. This is percentage. This is in your head. In your head. You must have this in your head. If you don't do that, you will fail. Your mom will fail. You can't just break because, or something else happens, which people go, I can't find anything to eat, so I'll just have some pizza. You're done. You will not survive keto. You must accept that if I cannot find something keto to eat in any given time, then I will not eat. That is not easy to do. But once you start doing it, it will work. I do it. People see me. People see me on the road. I go on the road. I go up. I stay keto. Doesn't matter where I go. Doesn't matter where I go. I'm always staying keto. People see me all the time. People see me eat, where I'm going. If I can't find something to eat, then I guess I'm not eating. I'm not eating. And now I even have like keto Thanksgiving and keto. I say keto all the time now, but you don't have to. That's how you fix it. Keto strips. There are many ways of testing your keto. One of them is blood. The other is urine. Keto strips are a good idea. Take them and your mom will know. She'll pee on a strip, literally pee on a strip. The darker purple it is, the deeper she is in keto. That means your body's putting out ketones. It comes out in your urine. So when you have too many ketones, you basically eliminate them through urine. So when it becomes high, you have tons of ketones. It means you're producing tons of ketones. That's what you're burning now, and you're burning fat. If you stay active, meaning you are able to work out in some, it doesn't matter how, it could just be an hour walk, half hour walk every day and stay on keto and stay ketogenic, you will watch the weight fall off of you. It's how it works. That's what works. You will watch the weight fall and eventually you have more energy. During keto flu, you will not have more energy. After keto flu, you will have tons of energy. How do you think I stay doing this so much? How do you think I stay doing this so much? Yes, do some more stuff. I always have that. So yes. All righty. Let's see if I can go down here. Some people are mad. Okay, hold on. I got people who are mad down here. Okay, who you guys are mad about? Okay, hold on. Let's see here. The beauty of cornflakes is hypocrites. If it's not a fruit or vegetable, eat it as a condiment. I don't know what that means. He says keto is a ton of fat and meat, fine, but nobody talks about what it does here to digestion. It is nothing to digestion. It's fine. That's Tesla vegetarian. Okay, how long did he live? Einstein vegetarian. How long did he live? Jesus vegetarian. I'm not sure that's true. Hitler also. So I mean that I don't know. Hitler also was one. Yeah. Gandhi, but yeah. How long did they live? Yeah. They were all tiny. Yes. I'm not sure. Jesus vegetarian. He just ate lamb. Nicely done. Good one, Phil. I like that. Yes. Yeah. You missed one vegetarian with a certain mustache. True. Yes. True. Absolutely. Yes. All true. Yes. Now, look, if you want to be very clear, the beauty is mad because I'm talking about keto. Look, I never say you have to go on keto. I'm a libertarian. Do what you see fit. If you like vegetarian, be a vegetarian. I'm not mad at you. Be a vegan. I'm not mad at you. Do what you want. I don't care. Here's what I know. Keto works amazing for me. That's true. You don't like that? I don't care. Do what you want. I don't care. I know it works well for me. You want to try it? Please try it. I'm happy to help you out. It's an AMA. I'll answer all the questions you want. Happy to do so. You don't want to try it? Don't. You think vegetarian is right? Go. I don't care. You do you. If it's working for you, I think do it. If it's not working for you, do it. But being a hypocrite, you're being stupid saying that. That's you being stupid. No one's saying that you're a hypocrite, that I'm a hypocrite for that. You're not a hypocrite either. Do whatever you want, man. Enjoy as you see fit. Do what you see fit. If you like it, enjoy. So anyway, thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's a little bit off topic, but that's okay. This is literally an AMA, so I'm glad you brought that up. I have another one. Oh, Never Married is yelling at me all this stuff. Okay, Never Married says, why are people not getting married? 25% of 40-year-olds in the United States have been married. 75.20% of single men have been married. 47 million men who have been married. Okay, a lot of stuff. Okay, very serious problem. Birth rates falling. Oh, okay. It's a dating app. Oh, okay. Oh, you're pumping a dating app. Okay, sorry. All right, this person's pumping a dating app. It's fine. They want you to do dating app, I guess. It's fine. Whatever. If you guys want to go to the dating app, enjoy. I guess. I'm not sure why, but someone's pushing a dating app. Good luck with your dating app. I hope it works well. But there is an issue. People are not getting married. That's true. Whoever it is, he or she is not wrong. There is actually an issue. People are not getting married. That's absolutely true. And I'm actually disappointed in that. I am disappointed in that. I'm disappointed that people aren't getting married. Not because, Beauty says, not hypocrite. Hippocrates. I'm sorry. Thank you. My mistake. I'm sorry. Yes. I am sorry. Yes. All righty. My mistake. But yeah, people should do what they want. Whatever they feel, I agree. Yes. My mistake. I apologize. I misread you. My point about that is I do wish people would want to be, I don't care if you get married. I think it's nice to get married, but I'd like us to pair bond more. And we're not pair bonding. I can see it everywhere. And the problem I see, and I talk about it all the time, is men blame women and women blame men. That's not helpful. It isn't. Women go, men should do blah, blah, blah. Men go, women should do blah, blah, blah. And it's not helpful. We are hurting. We're not pair bonding. Things are not doing well. So yes. Anyway, I do agree with that. So if you can find a way to find someone that you can pair bond with, please go pair bond. Pair bonding is wonderful. It is, if you can find someone. And I get some people can't. I get you find women who have standards that are so high that not enough men can reach them. Men who don't know what to do or how to act, that women get turned off. Happens all the time. if we don't find that answer, things are not going to go well. So, yes. All righty. Let's see here. Let me grab some more of these if I can. You guys all talking about this stuff. I want to go back to where I was, if that's good. All right. I went so far. All righty. Paula says, where are New York feminists who should be supporting an educated single mom? True. Absolutely true. Yes, we should be doing that. I guess so. Andrea says, wasn't the reason why SCOTUS overturned the Chevron deference because bureaucrats were out of control? Yes, that's why we have a way to sue. That's why this guy's winning. You're correct, Andrea. Chevron was very good for that reason. Absolutely true. Yes. And Andrea goes on to say, maybe New York needs to make a law that the bureaucrats do not make the laws. That would be nice. Yes, it would be. Yes, absolutely. All righty. Let's see here. HVAC says, Sam, let the government think of you. They've been to college. They know what the F they're doing. Thank you. Thank you. Jeez. Stop trying to think like you don't know any better. Okay, yeah, I did get Mike. Yeah, Mike hates UBI and digital currency both. I knew he went away in. Absolutely. Digital currency is insanely dangerous. True. The abuses are both devastating and impossible to avoid. It's China on acid. The only possible way is localizing currency so you don't have to opt in. That's the only way. Otherwise it's not going to happen. I agree with you. You have that or it's not going to work. Yes, absolutely. So Nosy goes on that we haven't seen fraud like we're going to see fraud of digital currency is all we have. When you demand perfection, you get deception. I say that all the time. Yes. I'm not a fan. I'm with you. I'm not a fan. Yes. Mastermind says, I don't need UBI, but I appreciate some price capping. Well, I mean, we could just make everybody make more money and then none of that matters. So, yeah. Could just do that. And of course, Mike, yep. Mike is not, I say UBI, Mike's throwing his shoe at the computer. UBI is another form of aid to sweeten enslavement. I like that. Aid to sweeten enslavement. I might give you some credit now, Mike. Maybe. I might just steal it, but that's good. To sweeten enslavement. And it will be gobbled up without any consideration of consequences. There's the harshest part again. You're right. People might think, how are you going to, get this UBI thing in? Mike, you're right. It's going to go right in. Right. We're not going to notice it. That's my word. When Space Jason was talking about that, he's right. Space Jason's correct. Yes. He goes on to say, I hate UBI with absolutely certainty I hate UBI with absolute certainty of its evil. There is nothing good that comes from it. And it's been proven as a failure by MIT experiment in Kenya over 10 years, which our media ignores report. Yep. Yes. Mass Manawa goes, UBI is almost as evil as unchecked capitalism. I'd agree. I think capitalism has to be checked. I'm with you. I'm not fighting on this. I think capitalism is absolutely the best system that we've come up with so far, but it is by no means perfect. There's a lot of issues we have to work on and make it better. I completely agree. But at the moment, again, if someone can find a better system, I'm open to it. I haven't found one. It is still the best one. But yeah, I don't think it should be unchecked. I'm with you. I think there have to be checks. And those checks could be cultural. They could be legal. They could be societal. They could be local. They could be federal. I think that is where we have to find the right answer. Which one works best for which? I think a general rule, cultural is the strongest, generally speaking. But I think any of them could work. Yep. Mike goes, oh, measles and mumps. There we go. Thank you. There we go. I appreciate that. Okay, that makes sense. You were saying, okay, I got you. All right, I'm trying to grab some more of these here. 6022 says Soviet satellite countries used to have ration cards. Yes, and how'd that work? Yes, absolutely. All righty. Polo says you can set someone on fire in a subway, but you can't space out your kid's vax. Thank you, Queen Kathy. True, because remember, setting someone on fire in a subway is not heresy, Paula. That's just like murder or attempted murder, or whatever that is, or arson or something. That's not heresy. The worst crime is heresy. Some of you think I'm joking when I say that. I'm not. I keep showing you evidence as we go down these roads that heresy is the worst crime. How dare you insult the church of the state? How dare you? Yes. So Mastermind Hour says, if they wanted more people to get the jab, they should have made it expensive. Nicely done. Yes, absolutely. 100%. It's very good. John Hancock for Congress. How are you, brother? It used to be that you were crazy spouting the 1984 rhetoric in 2015. Now in 2025, yeah, things changed, didn't they? Things changed. Absolutely changed. Yes, absolutely. All right. Let's see. Paula says, Kathy said the Lord was advising her on vaccine. I remember that. I heard it in real time. Then Larry covered it. Yes, she literally said God is on her side. Yes, I'm not making this up, guys. Thank you, Paula, for backing me up. Yes, I think she believes it. Not making fun of her as I am a Christian, not just sure what God she's listening to, what else this lady is telling her. Ooh. Man, you guys are giving me some good stuff tonight. And I'm going to forget, like, which one said which. So I'm going to screw it up and not remember who said what. So I'm probably going to give you guys no credit at all. But that's a good one, Paula. I like that. Not sure which God she's listening to and what else this lady is telling her. Nicely done. That's a very good one. You guys are doing good stuff today. I like that. That's great. Andrea says, the media just goes with what the government says because they don't want to lose access. Yes, access is a big deal now. I agree completely. Their job should be holding government accountable. Here's the problem. The difference between some, depends upon the media, some independent media has a different advantage. What I mean by that is mainstream media is often validated by the guests they can bring on, right? So when Meet the Press or whatever can bring on a senator or a president or whatever, they become valid because of who they can bring on. More of the independent media is actually validated by its eyeballs, how many eyeballs it gets. So it draws people. So it can be either way, right? So yes. All right. And she goes on to say, any more mainstream media is just propaganda and virtue signaling. Sadly true. Yes. Matt says they're throwing parents in jail because people aren't clicking Larry's like button. True. Look, he's right. If you don't click the like button, they're going to put your mom in jail. Why do you hate your mom? Don't hate your mom. What'd she do to you? Stop hating your mom. Just bad people. Click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. He is correct. Also, while you're at it, share reposts if you could. It does matter. Also, subscribe to this channel. Why? Because I had to cut everything in half because I got to split up my governor stuff with this stuff. So all my marketing is cut in half. So help me out. I need you. Do as I am asking. Please do so. It does matter. Share, repost, click the button known as like, or you hate your parents. Why do you hate your parents? They brought you in this world. Stop being mean. Don't be mean to them. Make it right. Click the button. Don't be that way. All right. I do want to bring something else up if I could. You might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Larry. Okay. I hear what you're saying, but hold on. Was anyone talking about this like a while ago? Were people talking about the idea of how do you deal with, vax mandates? There's a place that has been talking about this. And many people have, but there's a certain place that's been talking about this for a while. You knew it was civil because it's always civil. So of course it was civil because it has to be. There's a very special short. It is short, so you may enjoy it. It's a discussion on why vaccines should never be mandatory. It's not just me saying it. You think, Larry, you're the crazy guy saying it. No. Is RFK Jr. saying it? Only his crazy. No. It's other people. Freedom over fear. It's a discussion on exactly that. You want to talk about
There's a huge amount of pressure on medical professionals to create a vaccine to make sure the virus doesn't come back again. The last thing you want is more sickness, death, and lockdowns if the virus reemerges next year.
Yes, you can sit here and watch this and understand why people would say this. You get stuff like this from civil, stuff from places like Free the People, stuff from places like OutZero even, stuff from places like Reason Magazine, who talk about real issues, what's actually happening, what people care about. Not just rhetoric, I'm scared. Rhetoric, I'm scared. No, real stuff. Civil has a lot of great stuff on it, to include me. I have a specific amount, I think 6 specific. We Fix It Wednesdays only on Civil. You can see my stuff on Civil. You can see other people's stuff on Civil. It's valuable. CIVL.com. The code is Larry10 for 10% off. Head on over there, sign up, use the code Larry10. That's LARRY, the coolest thing on the internet, plus 10% off. Join Civil. CIVL.com. Civil is without question upgrading civilization without the conflict machine. Guys, please support the sponsor. I appreciate it. All right. I got rid of that. Let me move on, if I could, to more and more comments on this AMA. So yes. All right. Where was I? All right. Keith says, do those who practice keto suffer from gout more often? No, they do not. That's not true. Gout can come from some types of foods, but not that. No, gout is not a thing that comes to people who stay on keto. I've, again, been on keto 15 years. There are a few people I know who've been on that long. The problem you have is when people go on and off, right? On and off. That can be challenging because you go on and off. If you eat a ton of fat and meat and you also eat carbs, you're in trouble. If you eat a ton of fat and meat, but you don't eat carbs, totally fine. Goes right through your gut. What people will notice on keto, if you go on keto, what you notice is your elimination is a whole lot better. That's a polite way of saying it. Yeah. Your elimination is a whole lot better. Once you go on keto, initially it won't be. Again, that first week I talked about, that first week's tough. You're going to go, you go into culture shock. Literally, you go into culture shock. You go into withdrawal, and you may have a lot of trouble with your elimination that first week. After that, if you're someone who doesn't go often, you'll be going daily. If you're someone who goes often, you'll be going 2-3 times a day. You'll be fine. You'll be eliminating constantly. No worries whatsoever. You will be fine. It assists and gets everything out. And there's no, particularly if you try to eat a keto lifestyle, if you do it right, whenever you have carbs along with a lot of fiber. You match carb level to fiber grams. You match them exactly. Doing that pushes everything right through so you don't absorb the carbs. So if you go down that road, I just hardly ever eat carbs. I do sometimes, but hardly ever. I don't have to worry about it. So yeah. Shareen over on Rumble says, what challenges do you face getting the ballot, or is that piece already covered? No, there are challenges, right? And the challenges is fixed by money. Literally. We need cash to get in the ballot. The more cash we have, the easier that will be. It will be challenging. It won't be easy. It'll be challenging. But when we do it, look, we starting early, right? The campaign started, 2 months ago now? A month ago now, 2 months ago? So we're already starting early. With that time, we don't have to start petitioning until mid-April. So we've got 5 months, right? Is that right? 4 months. We got 4 months before we start. So we've got 4 months to prepare. We have time to prepare, to raise money, to do that. So it will be challenging, Shareen. It will. But we can do it. We have time. We're starting early. We didn't start early last time. We should have. We started early in 2018, and we got it. We did not start early in 2022, and that was a mistake, and we paid for it. But we're starting early now. So, yes. There we go. All right. Matt says, maybe I should go keto so I can finish programming my game. I'm going to give you my opinion. I tease often when I say this, but I like keto. I think it's magic. It gives me much more focus. People who know me, I have energy all the time. I'm always energetic here. For those you don't know, I'm in my 50s. And I have energy like I'm in my 30s. I have tons of energy. I'm out running around. People see me all the time doing stuff. I'm active doing these things. You see me doing it. And I've been on keto 15 years. So it gives me energy. I wish I slept more. I don't sleep usually more than, if I'm lucky, if I sleep 6 hours a night, and I still have energy. So it keeps me up and going. It keeps me more focused. You guys see me. You hardly ever see me do ums and ers. And I tend to be pretty focused on questions people ask. I make mistakes, obviously. I'm just still human. But I tend to. If anything, I'm overhyped. If anything, I have more energy. If anything, people think I'm on like Coke or something, right? If anything. So I think it helps tremendously. So my gut would say, do it. Understand the first couple of weeks, a week or two will be hard. It is. You will probably get, you might not. Not everyone gets keto flu. I don't know your body, obviously, but maybe. So, yes. Alrighty. So there we go. Never married. I would check with that. Phil says Lizzo vegetarian. Cute. Yes. Thank you, Beauty. Hippocrates. Thank you. I completely screwed that up. My bad. Sorry about that. Goes on to say, well, with Nick Fuentes raging on women, getting fat and ugly, no one's going to get married. Well, there's the issue, right? You got both sides blaming each other. If they're going to blame each other and no one's going to take responsibility to fix things, how can you? If the men are going to go, oh, the women are fat and ugly, and the women go, oh, the men are weak and whatever, poor, whatever, dusties. I'm going to call them dusties, whatever. Well, then how are you going to fix anything? Someone's got to go, all right, can we stop insulting each other? And can we start figuring out how we can start pair bonding? If no one says that, it ain't going to work, right? Absolutely. She says, I bomb with ChatGPT. Yeah, a lot of people are. Keith goes, the problem with marriage in part is divorce. 100% true. We know that's true. Divorce courts are terrible. Family courts, an embarrassment. Family court supports the worst in us. Right? There's the image of the deadbeat dad and the crazy mom. Those people exist. And the court system supports those two types. So if you are the crazy mom, you're supported. And the non-crazy mom pays for the crazy mom. And if you are the deadbeat dad, you're good. And the non-deadbeat dad pays for the deadbeat dad. That's how our current system works. And if you've been through it, you know I'm telling the truth. That's how it works. If you're the mom who actually is crazy, you date drug dealers, and those women exist. You're on drugs, you're selling your body, you're that kind of crazy mom, you ignore your kids, you're good to go. You fine. Court sets you up. And then every non-crazy mom pays for her. And if you're a deadbeat dad, you don't care about your kids, you don't care, you're not going to pay, you're lying where your money is, you keep your money with your friend and you whatever, you're that guy, you're good, you're golden. And the good dad who's not that, he pays for you. That's our current system. Yes, 100% true. But an interesting piece, was it Kentucky, I think? Kentucky changed the rules. Right now, women, not even close, are the ones who initiate divorce. There's no tomorrow. They're divorcing their men like left and right. Something like 70-80% of all divorces are initiated by women. It's a huge chunk. The Kentucky changed the laws and went, oh, it's automatically 50-50 when it comes to kids. Women don't get the kids anymore by default, which has been the default in most states. Even when the law was 50-50, the default was women get the kids. That was the default. And men get 2 weekends a month. That was the default in most states. That's changing now. And that changed. Divorce rate went down. When we're like, wait a minute, am I losing my kid? I'll stay with this guy. Changed everything. So yeah, big change. So anyway, Sam goes, Larry's one of the few candidates who talks about issues with our family court system and overthrow solutions. True. One of the biggest solutions you have to do, and this would actually help what I just said. And it sounds crazy. Most of you don't know this. If you haven't been in the family court system, you don't know this. Or you heard me talk about it. In the family court system, lying is not treated as perjury. What I mean by that, if you lie in family court in New York State, they just go, well, if generally speaking, it's been very lopsided. If you're a woman, they do almost nothing. If you're a man, maybe they give you contempt of court. That's it. Why does that matter? Because you're not punished for lying, but you might be rewarded for lying. So why wouldn't you lie? That's my point. That's what the court system tends to support the people who lie fastest and most. And who's that? That's a deadbeat dad and a crazy mom. So those people who are the bad guys, they lie first and fast and hardest, and they're rewarded or not punished. And the person's like, no, I just wanted to make sure my kid was taken care of. Oh, you're not going to lie? No. You're not crazy? No. Well, we're going to punish you. So if you all of a sudden said it's perjury, which it should be, not just what that happened, but now the lawyers get hammered. Why? The lawyers encourage lying. Now, you might go, Larry, they would never do that. They do. I've said it publicly and they never fight me. One lawyer once, when in one event I was at, went, Larry, I would never do that. And I said, great. I'm glad you wouldn't do that. Are you telling me it's not being done? And she literally did this. She just went, just put her head down and looked away. That's all she did. She wouldn't answer the question because she knows it is. Literally, lawyers don't say lie. I didn't say that. I said encourage. This is what they do. They go, Sam, you're getting divorced, just saying, if you say she's on drugs. If you just say that, you might get the kids. I'm not saying she's on drugs. I'm saying if you say that, you might get the kids. And then she says, her lawyer says, I'm not saying Sam hit you. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you were to say that, you might get the kids. They say that. That's how they talk to their client. So what does Sam do? She's on drugs. What does Sam's ex-wife do? He beat me. Neither's true. They say it because they're trying to get the kids. What's the punishment when they find out that none of this is true? Punishment is nothing. So here's the next part. Then the mom or dad comes in. So Sam's mom comes in and goes, yeah, she's on drugs because Sam's mom loves him. So she wants to defend him and get the kids. So she lies. And then her dad comes in and lies about Sam. Oh, yeah, he beat her up. She came to me with a black eye, which he just made up, but he says it. This happens in family court, guys. I'm not making this up. This happens. And the judge goes, now what do I do? I'm taking the kids. Why would the judge take the kids? Because he gets paid. I'm not joking. The state gets paid for every time they take the kids. The federal government gives them money. Totally true. This is family court system. It's a disaster. Now, if we found out later that Sam was lying and that his ex-spouse was lying, and the judge goes, oh, that's perjury. Sam goes, I didn't mean to do it. My lawyer told me to do it. Oh, lawyer told you to do that. Is that right? He's gonna lose his license, or he's gonna be punished or censored. Do that one time. Stops. He's gonna lose his license. He can't pay his bills. He ain't gonna tell you a lie no more. Don't lie. Tell the truth. Don't lie. Tell the truth. That's gonna happen. So that's a huge piece that people don't know about. You change that, change a whole lot. Change a whole lot. Yes. All righty. Kevin says, why do you think George Pataki says every 4 years New York can crack red on the governor's side and he's being paid, or is he being paid delusional? I think both. I think he gets consulting fees. Obviously, I think he does. Right. But not just that. I think he thinks of New York in the old way when he could make it happen. I think he did think that. And he's also hanging around Republicans all day. I know lots of Republicans, tons of them. I see them. They attack me every day, all the time. No, you don't understand. Alicia's the answer. Utter horseshit. No way she wins. I will bet any of you any amount of money you pick. She's never going to win a thing. It is impossible. The numbers are not there. Never going to happen. There's not a Republican in the state. It is a fantasy. I will bet anybody any amount of money publicly because you're going to owe me a lot of money. She's never winning. Ever going to happen. It is a fantasy. Never going to happen. With that in mind, look, George Pataki hangs around Republicans. They all tell him that. Republicans that I know in New York State, they hang around the Republicans. They're all hanging around together. They're all talking together. They all hate Kathy Hochul. So it becomes an echo chamber. So they believe that. So yes. So anyway, Grace says, or we could order or abolish the Fed and not have to even debate UBI. True. See? Now you're thinking. I like that. Now you're thinking. Wesley, brother, you are important. Thank you, my friend. Good show, important topic. Need more viewers. Here's a mediocre of support. Thank you. I need as much as I can get, my friend. I appreciate it. I am putting together a chunk of cash for January or February to do a push with marketing. So this will be a big chunk I will put towards that. I appreciate your support. I got to get bigger, badder, and make stuff happen. So I do appreciate that. Every bit counts. Thank you so much. You will see that there will be a push for marketing. Guys like you and others who've been giving so much. I want to market this thing better. Again, I've had to cut this in half because I got to do my Sharpe stuff one side and my Larry Sharpe stuff in a separate side. So I got to spend time on this. So I will. You will see a push either in January or February. I don't know if the push is going to be on Facebook or if it'll be on YouTube or Rumble or all three or a combination. I've not decided that yet. I'm not sure how this works best. I'm not an expert in marketing, but because of the cash people have been throwing at me, I appreciate this. I am setting it up and I'm going to get the right people to make this work the right way. I am going to make this work. I'll figure out how. I'll give you the right one. So again, understand that I do get it. This will go right into marketing because you're right. This has got to get bigger. This has got to get bigger. We have to. So Wesley, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Every bit counts. I appreciate the help tremendously. I really do. Thank you. Beauty says, I wish you could run for California governor. I'm a New Yorker. I mean, this is what I'm trying to do, right? I'm a New Yorker. Yes. So, all right. John says the mainstream media, except for Fox, protects Democrats and tries to best demonize Republicans. I think most of it does. I would agree. I think most of it does. Yes. So, all righty. Mastermind Hour says, I think the only way Kathy could find God is if God didn't see her coming first. Cute. Yes, absolutely. Gracie says, Jan 6 was heresy. Gracie, well done. You are correct. And that is one of the reasons why people are so mad about it. Yes. You're totally correct. Yes. That's the piece. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. So, all right, I'm going to grab some more of these if I can. I grabbed that one already. The divorce part, I grabbed that piece. Good. Yes, I think I went through those already. All right, covered that one already. I'm trying to grow as many as I can as we rush through these. All righty. Sam says, who needs UBI? We can just increase minimum wage to $4 an hour. MMT tells us we can just print more money. It's totally fine. You know what? Point taken. See, Mike? Sam's got the answer. We don't got to do UBI. We'll just do minimum wage, $400 an hour. Done and done. I love that. See, Sam's got the answer. See, Mike, don't worry. You'll be fine. No UBI. Sam is here to save the day. So we're good. I'm going to get right back to Kathy Hochul. Have her give you a call, Sam. You can square her away. $400 an hour. Done. No need for UBI. Whew. Glad we solved that. Okay. All of our woes are done. MMT has saved it yet again. I love it. Thanks, Sam. That was easy. Sheridan says, so far I found 2021 Cook County, Illinois, ruling one child visitation suspension because anti-vax stance of the mother. PA is also working on the issue with what I would call soft results so far. You know what? I think this may be a time. You're right. I like it. B reposted the stream. Thank you, B. I appreciate that. Yes. Keith says, there are no perfect solutions, only trade-offs. I think Thomas Sowell said that. He did. That was one of his most popular things he said. He does. It's only trade-offs, right? And nothing's perfect. Capitalism isn't perfect. Mastermind Hour was not wrong. It's not perfect. I don't see a better answer. Not now. Maybe there's one. Maybe I haven't figured it out, and there's a better answer. I am open to a better answer if you got one. I am. But I do not see one at all. I don't see one now at all. So Andrew says, George Bush said a similar thing connecting divine command with his military adventurism in Iraq. I remember that. I think Jesus has a few words for him and Kathy. I would think so. Yes. All righty. Julia says, Democrats are teaching their children that they shouldn't vote for people who were found guilty of felonies and will fall liable of SA. It's completely insane and it's sickening. I think to be forward, I know people bring this up all the time, particularly people who don't like Trump. It's constantly being brought up. Well, he's guilty and blah, blah, blah. People don't care if they can't pay their rent. They don't care. They want someone who's going to help them out of their problem. That's what they want. And if someone can't do that, they don't care. And I understand them, right? I get it. So, Mike says, September 2021, Hochul asked to be her apostles, New York to be her apostles, to push vax for her. It was God's will. SupremeCourt.com. Yep. Absolutely. It goes on. Also, Denver Gazette. Yep. Again and again and again. Yep. I love that. All righty. John says, pair bond needs to come back soon because AI robots are very close. Yes. This is my worry. Yes. Absolutely. This is my worry. I would like us to pair bond again. I really would. I think it's important, right? I think it makes us better people. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, but I think we should be pair bonding. I think everyone should be, in my perfect world, we should all have at least one good friend. We should all have at least one close family member. And we should all have at least one good semi-romantic, if not romantic partner. That'd be amazing if we could all have one of those. That'd be awesome. Now, can we all get all three of those? No. Will some of us have more of one and less of another? Yes. But if we don't have any, that's a problem. If we don't have any, that's a problem, right? We've got to be able to have at least one of those, right? At least one of those. The Booty of Corfis says, I had a friend whose lawyer told his ex-wife to make her ex-husband so mad that he breaks and then gets in trouble for rage because she calls the cops. It's also, yes, this is a common thing. You're right. Thank you for bringing this up. This happens all the time. all the time. Yes, I completely agree. Yes. So, all righty. I appreciate those also. Where are we here? Grab some more of these if I can. All right, I think we're good. Kintugi says it'll never replace the human connection. This is my point, Kintugi. I agree with you completely. We have to make it to where we should be pair bonding, right? Again, does it have to be romantic? No, but I think we should all try. My opinion, we should all try again to have at least one close friend. I hope many, but at least one, where you can be vulnerable, where you feel safe to be vulnerable. That one close friend, at least one. Again, I hope many, but at least one family member who you can lean on when you're in trouble, because we all get in trouble. At least one where when you're in trouble, there's someone you can lean on who's a family member, whether that's mom, dad, cousin, sister, brother, doesn't matter, family member. And again, someone who you can be romantically intimate with, right? And that may not be every day, but it's whatever you can. Look, I hope you have many of them and every day. Awesome. But some of those. So yes. All right. Beauty says, Larry, is Trump going down? Trump is on his way down right now. He is cruising down, which is why I think he's back out in the field, which I think is a brilliant move by his team. As I've said this before, I think Trump started to fail once he spent his time away from the people and was sitting inside the swamp, sitting around the swamp for all this time. Trump is his best. Again, when you I hate Trump, whatever you might think about Trump, he is his best when he's out with the people, hearing them directly, understanding them directly. That's when he's his best. When he's sitting in whatever, Mar-a-Lago or the White House and the swamp is around him, that's when he becomes insular and he starts screwing up. And he did. He did not keep his coalition together well, and he's not hearing the American people well. So somebody said, get him back on the road. And the story they tell you is, well, he's out to help people running. That's secondary. That might work, that might not work. Trump doesn't have great coattails. He's not bad, but he's not great. He's like Obama wasn't great either with that. None of that. He's not great at that. But what Trump is good at is when he's out with the people and they hear him and he hears them, and now he starts getting back in action and he starts getting stuff done. If he doesn't, him getting out is the best thing he can possibly do. If you like Trump and you want him to do well, you should be very happy he's back out in the crowd. Him sitting inside is terrible. But if he stays inside, he's in trouble. So, the lawsuit's bad. The lawsuit's bad, but Trump is very good in court, and he knows that. He has amazing judges. He has an amazing way of spinning things. If he keeps the people on his side, this lawsuit's nothing. If he loses the people, he's finished. If he loses the people, he's finished. That's the answer. Either one. So, Michael says Trump approval 44% is better than 2/3 of Biden and matches average of 45th. Maybe, but it doesn't matter. He was doing way better. He had a mandate, dude. He's doing this. And he was doing this, and you know this, you've even said it. His first couple months were amazing. He came right off of being with the people campaigning. He took all that energy and everything and pushed it forward and started doing great for people who like him, obviously. Democrats obviously hated him, but for him, doing great. Then he started sitting there and started stagnating, sitting around a swamp, around all them neocons, all them swamp creatures, tell him what to do. And things are going to change. Now, somebody was like, this ain't working. He's going down. He's doing this. I don't like that, because at one point, that 44 becomes 42 and 41 and 39 and 37, right? It does this. You can't cruise uphill. You only cruise downhill, right? It's doing that right now. And someone said, oh, no, get him back out with the people. And it was a smart move. I don't know who thought of it. If some people say it's that Wiley woman, I don't know if it's her. I don't know, whoever it is. But whoever said it, kudos for that person. Get that man back out with the people. He does way better in front of people. He does not do well sitting in that place. That's not the guy he is. It's not. So, yes. All righty. Ken says, do you think people will ever realize that draining the swamp isn't going to happen with one Trump, but with 50 Massey, like libertarians elected into the House and Senate? They won't notice until they see it. Right? They won't know until they see it. Like, it's not something intuitively. Intuitive we're looking for some leader to do the thing, Ken. That's intuitively what we think. Oh, no, then this guy will walk in and then he'll save us. We think that intuitively. I think you are correct with what you're saying, but I don't think we'll notice it until we notice it. So, yeah. All righty. I'm now looking over at Instagram, and Gib Gibson says, has the Libertarian Party of New York picked a lieutenant governor yet? No, not yet. No, not yet. Now, they won't pick, I think, until March, I think that's what they said. I think March. So we'll see when the time comes. Right before petitioning. That's the issue. Right before petitioning is when it happens. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. Guys, I'm going to ask you if you could, please click the button known as like, if you would. Repost this, share this, subscribe if you can. Once this show is over, please comment after the live, and please comment on how important are parents' rights? How important are they? Seriously. Critical, not critical, secondary, number one, where are they in your view? How important are parents' rights? If this is not live, you're going to see a couple of videos pop up. You will see them pop up right here, here and here. Please watch with one of them right away for about 8 minutes. Mr. Rhythm loves that algorithm. I will see you all very soon.